big coffee guy here. He's Jacob Tissot. He has his coffee every day with a side of Triscuits. I'm James Rapien.
If you looked at my desk, they wouldn't know you were kidding.
Correct. I have water in this, but it looks professional versus a water bottle, so I do this because I'm a pro. Pinky's out. You know who else is a pro? Rhett Lowder.
Back.
Rhett Lowder back, pitching for the Reds on Sunday. Might be a pitches limit, but regardless, having Rhett Lowder back, it's huge for this team. I'm going to stop holding this cup now. It's huge for this team.
Yeah.
Because it means either Chris Paddock, and probably Chris Paddock, is out of the rotation. Maybe helps the bullpen some. Yeah. Maybe he hangs around. I like the addition of Chris Paddock. I think it's helped in a really tough spot. We've seen the Reds have to do this at times, or the Bengals have to do this at times when they get in dire need midseason and you grab a guy and you hope it works. I think Chris Paddock has worked. I would like to see him hang around. But regardless, Rhett Lowder back in business on Sunday. That's exciting.
Haven't been the biggest Chris Paddock fan since he got here, but certainly need him.
Putting it lightly. I haven't been the biggest Chris. That's putting it very lightly.
But I am also team have him stick around, whether it's in the bullpen or as an extra arm or whatever you can find, because after Chase Burns' last start, Burns mentioned that he's been working with Paddock on that changeup. And one thing that I keep circling back to with Chase Burns is the next step that he can make to truly be a dominant starter in this league for a long time is adding a third pitch. He's a slider fastball guy. If he can get that changeup up to where it needs to be, then I think he can really take that next step in this league. So if Paddock's going to help him do that, that's providing value to this Reds rotation and this Reds team in and of itself. Paddock's changeup last year was a 118 stuff plus, really, really good, and Burns throws it 5 miles an hour harder. So that'd be great, and I think he could definitely play in the bullpen. But adding Lowder back to this rotation is absolutely huge, not just because you're getting closer to the 5 guys you thought you were going to have in the rotation if you're the Reds coaching staff and front office, but people, I think, are forgetting what Rhett Lowder was supposed to be or projected to be after his rookie season and early in this year. It got pretty ugly for the last few starts. His ERA creeping up towards 6, struggling with control, walking a lot of guys before this injury. But Rhett Lowder started his career on fire, was absolutely dominant in his rookie season, and then now this year really pitching well to start the season before unraveling with the injury. So I think Rhett Lowder has as high of a ceiling as a lot of the guys in this Reds rotation. He was picked 7th overall in the draft. He's someone I'm really excited to see pitch every time he's on the mound, even though there's been some hiccups so far in his young career. But I love Rhett Lowder, and I can't wait to see him on the mound on Sunday.
Yeah, if there's a path for this Reds team to be the team that I think a lot of people are still hopeful they can be, which is not just a winning team, but a playoff team.
Yeah.
Rhett Lowder has to be a big part of it. And he has to be a big part of it for a few reasons. One, Chase Burns, at some point, they are going to have to limit his innings. That's just what's going to happen. So there's one. 2, Brady Singer has lost his voice and needs to find a way to start singing again. It's just not, he has not been the innings eater. You're hoping Nick Lodolo is that guy again, and I think so, but we need to see more. Andrew Abbott has been stable, but Hunter Green's out. And so, you need your rotation to be your strength. And the path to that is getting a guy back in Lowder that you were leaning on and would have leaned on a ton. Part of why April was so awesome is because Rhett Lowder was awesome.
Yeah.
He was really, really good. And then things started to lose command early in games, and then boom, he has this injury. So if he can be a quality starter every 5th day, then you're going to believe in Burns. You're going to believe in Abbott. Probably believe in Lodolo. Coming off the injury, maybe it takes another start, but I think you can believe in Lodolo. And then Lowder. You have 4 of the 5 solidified, and then the 5th is the guy you were expecting to be reliable in Brady Singer and be that innings eater, and so maybe he can turn things around. So when I think of paths to things, and for the Reds, it's playoffs, whether it's wild card, NL Central, whatever, contention for a playoff spot. Rhett Lowder's got to be a big part of it, at least until Hunter Green comes back.
Yeah.
And so Sunday's a big, big day for the Reds.
No question about it. And I think the thing with Rhett Lowder that's exciting is it's not just getting a pitcher back from the IL and putting him back in the rotation. It's getting someone who is going to be a foundation of this rotation for years to come back in the rotation. His first 8 starts of his career, Lowder had the lowest ERA of any Reds pitcher since 1913. He had a 1.30 ERA through his first 8 career starts. That was the 5th lowest mark by any MLB pitcher through their first 8 career starts since 1961. He started his career hotter than anyone we've seen in a long time. If he can get back to that form, we could considered be sitting here at the desk later in the summer talking about which of the Reds' 3 or 4 aces are they going to have. I mean, if Abbott's pitching as good as he's been, we've seen it for a stretch from Lowder, Burns, and Green are there.
Did you just
This
say
could
that?
be a 4-ace rotation at some point.
Wow. All right.
Is it that crazy? We've seen it from Abbott for a month at a time. We've seen it from Green when he's healthy. We've seen it from Burns also so far this year. We've seen it from Lowder for a month at a time.
I would say we've seen it for Abbott for a half season.
For sure. We saw it last year, no
That's
question. I just mean this season.
Yeah. 4 aces.
No teams have that.
And if you do have that, and this is where the Reds thought they were coming into this year, if you have that, you're going to have a chance any day.
Exactly.
And I think that's what they were thinking is, hey, we have 6 starters that we feel over the moon about. Lodolo gets hurt, Green gets hurt. They're like, we can still hold this down. Singer underperforms. And then Lowder gets hurt. Things feel much different, especially when Andrew Abbott was struggling so much in April. Like, I just went through the whole rotation outside of Chase Burns where there's something. There's a question mark or an injury or something. And so I think that's why the Reds view themselves as not buyers or sellers right now. And by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, shout out to you on the First Word YouTube channel. The latest poll question was, should they buy or sell? 54% of you right now say buy. 46% say sell. I think there are a lot of sellers. I'm not there yet. I definitely can't sell. I always lean toward buying. This season could turn toward a sell. But if Rhett Lowder's Rhett Lowder, Singer starts singing a little bit, and the other guys that I feel like you can bank on now, Nick Lodolo, obviously Chase Burns, he's been their best pitcher, arguably their best player, and Andrew Abbott. If you can bank on those guys, you'll be in position. But that's what makes Sunday so important.
Yes.
Because 40%, over the past couple of weeks, 40% of the time it's been a struggling Brady Singer or Chris Paddock. Mm-hmm. That's a really tough ask to do when we know the lineup has limitations, when we know the bullpen is struggling the way it is. It's just a tough thing. So it can still come together, I guess is my point. And I'm not trying to sell you hopium to sell you hopium. I think there's reason for hope. And part of it is Rhett Lowder didn't suffer a serious injury. It was a relatively minor injury. Pitched well the other day in AAA Louisville. Now he has a chance to go out there on Sunday and hopefully be in position to give the Reds a series win or a sweep. But regardless, in position on Sunday to reestablish himself as one of the top pitchers in this organization.
And that's the hope. And I think it's just, kind of taking me back a little bit to a month ago when Lodolo came back from the IL. Yeah. It's probably not going to be Lowder's best start, working his way back from the injury. He threw 70 pitches in AAA, looked great. 50 of those 70 were for strikes. He had the control that he's been struggling with on the major league level so far this year. But it's a big step from AAA to the majors, and I think Reds fans have been reminded of that a lot this season in terms of the transition from Louisville to Cincinnati. And Lowder could absolutely go out there and just burn down the Cardinals lineup and have a great start on the mound, and that would be awesome. But I do think tempering expectations a little bit just for the first start of his return should be important because he's going to have to work back. He's going to have to get up to full speed, and once he does, I think he's going to be a pivotal piece to this Reds rotation and help them make a push throughout the summer. But don't freak out if it's not the best on Sunday. He's going to at least give the Reds a better chance to win than those other options.
Yeah, I think that's it. There's the path. There you look at it. The ERA is ugly because of the final couple starts that he had. Rhett Lowder's a beast, and they need him to be exactly that. Yeah. Hopefully soon. Hopefully it's Sunday.
Yeah.